I get a feeling it's going to be a riot.
I don't read the newspapers because they all have ugly print.
At the starting of the week, at Sunday talks, you'll hear them speak. It's only Monday. Negotiations breaking down. See the leaders start to frown. It's more than Monday.
We are back with another edition of your favorite morning show, The Daily Dose on the Guerrilla Radio Network.
You'll be sitting, taking lunch. The news will hit you like a punch. It's only Tuesday.
What's happening?
Ask your doctor if the Daily Dose is right for you. Common side effects include sarcasm, informed opinions, and wondering how the hell these people got elected. The Daily Dose starts now.
What's happening?
Tomorrow never comes until it's too late. Tomorrow never comes until it's
Good morning, good morning, good morning, all of you, all of my friends out there in the internet world. How are you today? The time is 8:29 on Friday morning, and it is July 24th. Running a little bit late this morning, unfortunately. Usually I'd like to get the show started about 8:15-ish, 8:20. I apologize for my tardiness and my delay. But yeah, I just didn't find any motivation this morning. I've been working a ton, and I just wanted to kind of relax a little bit before I got the show started. But I summoned my inner strength, and I said, you know what? These people need me in this world. Get off your lazy ass and get to work, you lazy son of a bitch. I'm talking to myself, by the way. That's exactly what I said this morning. And then I got up, and I said, let's get this show rolling. And then once I got it rolling, I realized how much I enjoy doing this. And you know what? It's just one of those things. It was a tiring morning, but I overcame, and I'm back with a vengeance. And I've got some really good shit for you today. I'll tell you that much. Excuse me. Let me just take a quick sip of this coffee. Oh, man. Strong and black, just like my men. Moving on, we've got some really good stuff in the news for you today. We've got some goofy stuff in the news. We've got some crazy, wacky, wild stuff in the news. We're talking about drunks. We're talking about kill switches. We're talking about Lamborghinis. We're talking about pharmacists that sell a bunch of pills unnecessarily. And then, of course, we're talking about death in my little segment that I like to call Dead as Fuck. We will get to that segment a little bit later in the show. But for now, let's go ahead and get started with our local weather report coming to you from Fox News Studios. This is the Tampa Bay weather report. Like I usually say, if you're listening to this from a different part of the world, country, state, if you live in Louisiana, different parish, this may not apply to you, but it certainly applies to all my friends and neighbors in the Tampa Bay area.
And now, Fox 13 meteorologist Jim Weber with your Sky Tower Vector Scan forecast.
Sky Tower Vector Scan still busy, showing some showers and storms working their way off the coast. It's quiet over us right now, and it's going to stay quiet for the next several hours. But as you look down to our south, you're seeing all these little showers from, say, West Palm down through Fort Lauderdale, down towards Miami as well. We're bringing that moisture back across the state, that very classic pattern where we have that east and southeasterly wind. So our best chance of rain today will be south of Tampa, but we're all going to start seeing see a better chance of rain over the next several days. 81 degrees right now here in Tampa, St. Petersburg. You're at 82, mid to upper 70s as you move away from the coast, with Lakeland at 78, along with Winter Haven. Wauchula 76 degrees, then those mid 80s. Very steamy down across this southern part of the state. You head to our north, up into Tallahassee right now, 76. Gainesville currently sits at 77 degrees. So view over the state, there you see those showers working their way towards the coast, clearly in that east and southeasterly pattern over our state, giving us those storms during the afternoon. Then we had our second landfall of Bertha yesterday. It is since dissipated, just a remnant low with some showers and some storms working their way through southern Texas, now working its way over towards Mexico. So watch how we go over the next couple of days here with the Fox weather model. You see some of these showers and storms, but notice most of the activity, it's say from Tampa to the south as we go through the day today. So mid to late afternoon, that's when we'll see those storms, and then those will work their way out over the water. We'll clear things out. We'll start out quiet for tomorrow. But then we see some of these storms, maybe some late day storms heading into the evening, starting to focus maybe some of that activity more towards those interior locations. But then notice as we head into Sunday, definitely starting to see a big uptick in our rain chances. Everybody's seeing some storms around the area, and they're starting to work their way more towards that east coast as we head into the latter part of the day, switching that pattern around a little bit as we head towards the first part of next week. So here today, before the storms, 94, 95 degrees, that heat index in many locations between about 103 to 105. That rain chance, that will be heading up, which is certainly a good thing. We need the rain. We're above average for the month, but for the year, we are still running over 6 inches behind for the year. So still dealing with a lot of drought conditions across Florida. So our forecast for today, partly cloudy, a few afternoon storms, daytime high 94 degrees. Then for tonight, partly cloudy, muggy after any of those storms wind down. Heading into tomorrow, scattered storms developing as we go through the day. Daytime high at 93 degrees. 7-day forecast, daytime highs, they're heading up into the low 90s as we head through the weekend. And that rain chance between about 40 to 50%.
And in honor of this hot, humid, muggy, disgusting weather that we're enjoying in Florida right now, I've decided to wear my favorite sleeveless shirt. It's got Nirvana on it. I made this shirt myself, actually, one day. It was super hot outside, and I said, you know what? I'm going to take an old T-shirt and just cut the goddamn sleeves off of it because I'm very uncomfortable. And ever since that day, it's become one of my favorite hot summer day shirts. Just a fun fact about what I like to do in my free time. I like to chop up my shirts and make them sleeveless. How about that? Yeah, I'm an innovator. That's what people call me that sometimes. They call me an innovator. And, you know, inventor. Some people might call me an inventor. I don't know. Breaking news on Fox right now, directly above us in Flagler County. 49 people were arrested and charged in a drug trafficking takedown, apparently fentanyl. Now, here's why I would not be a good drug dealer and why when I applied on Indeed last week for the international drug trafficker position, I didn't get the job. They actually emailed me back and they said they found someone that's a little bit more qualified than me. And it's because I don't understand how the fentanyl thing works, okay? And I get it that you use fentanyl to cut up your drugs and stretch them and get a better high, right, from what I understand. But it's killing everybody. So wouldn't you want a return customer to come back? Or would you just want a one and done, kill them and get it over with because you're putting too much fentanyl in your drugs? That's why I would not make a good drug dealer, because I just don't understand why fentanyl would be put into drugs if it's killing everyone. If I want to do a little cocaine or a little bit of heroin, I just want to do a little bit of cocaine, a little bit of heroin. You know what I mean? But if you take it and you cut it with fentanyl, I'm going to die, right? And so as a drug dealer, I'm going to focus, my main goal and my priority would be focusing on customer retention and returning customers, almost issuing out loyalty cards. You know, you buy 5 grams of cocaine, you get the 6 gram for free. Like little punch cards like they used to have, you know, and you punch it out with a little star thing. And it makes a little hole in there. And then, you know, now you're building a lasting clientele. Yeah, but not if you're putting fentanyl in this dope. You know what I mean? It's a one and done as far as I know. I don't know. That's why I wouldn't make a good drug dealer. But nonetheless, there's other positions that are available on Indeed for international drug smuggler. And I will continue to drop my resume, and hopefully my qualifications will match the criteria that the hiring manager is looking for in order to fill the positions that they do have available on the Indeed job search engine. That's our weather for today, and that's my rant about fentanyl. Now, while we're on the topic of drugs and dope, why don't we go ahead and get into this story? It's a good little segue into this segment. This pharmacist apparently was convicted recently of selling Oxycontins. I don't know how to say that word. Cotton. You think it sounds like cotton swab, but I think it's CONTON, if I believe so. So selling hundreds of thousands of Oxycontins to people that didn't need them at a very escalated price, pocketing all the profit.
And now to a crime alert. A pharmacist is found guilty of dealing oxycodone pills to patients who didn't need the drug at all.
Oxycodone. So the hell with what I just said. Let's get.
And now to a crime alert. A pharmacist is found guilty of dealing oxycodone pills to patients who didn't need the drug at all. A federal judge saying the convicted pharmacist tried to profit off those sales. And Local 10's crime specialist Bridget Matter joining us with an update on this situation. Bridget.
Christy, this here is one of two pharmacies that these people were operating according to the feds. You can see now it's closed. The only thing left is that mat that's on the floor. But I do want to show you this car. Three of the business owners' neighbors say that this car belongs to the business owners that used to be here. It's filled with boxes. A lot of these business owners here say that when they'd go into this pharmacy, it was not stocked. This is a mugshot for 60-year-old Olushola Yusuf. She was convicted on 5 counts of illegal drug distribution. Federal prosecutors say she owned 2 pharmacies in Broward County, Boots LLC in Margate and Chan's Pharmacy Plus in Pembroke Pines.
The first time that I walked in there, there really wasn't anything. When I looked at the shelves, they only had like maybe a handful of products.
Distributing, get this, 326,079 opiate pills. These customers would drive long distances, coughing up as much as $1,300 a month in cash. Nearly all her pharmacy customers were dispensed oxycodone, and the feds say she was charging them 10 times the typical cost, all in cash. The U.S. Department of Justice says she was supplying these pills to drug dealers, too. She has a co-defendant named Saman Jimenez, who pleaded guilty to conspiracy to illegally distribute.
How about that, huh? This lady's crazy. 2 things from that little newsreel that we just played. 2 things. First of all, her face. Woof. That's the first thing. Second thing, you're making all this money. You're selling all these pills at a inflated value or inflated, amount. You couldn't buy a better car. You know what I mean? I don't know how much an oxycodone pill sells for. I mean, $5, $10, I don't know. So let's just say in the low end, 5 of them, and you sold 328,000. If my math is correct, you're in the millions at this point. You couldn't go and buy a better vehicle than the 1996 Mitsubishi Montego. You know what I mean? With the chipping paint around the back door. You got like $1.5 million that we know of. And you're driving around in a 1996 Mitsubishi Montego with chipping paint. I mean, first of all, go get some plastic surgery, make yourself look a little bit more presentable when you're selling these pills. Second of all, take a little bit of that money that's left and go buy yourself a decent vehicle. You know what I mean? I mean, you're a drug dealer. You need to live, and you need to live up to the part that you're playing. You know what I mean? I've seen rap videos. All right, I'm gonna throw it out there. I've seen them. And, stacks of cash, hose, there's always hose. There's a few main components to every rap video. Definitely hose. Okay. Cash, fancy cars, pharmacist lady. Listen to what I'm saying. Fancy cars. And of course, jewelry. This lady had none of the above. None. Nada. Zilch. Zippo. She's a horrible drug dealer, and I'm glad that she got arrested. Let's move on. Who likes Lamborghinis in this group? I know I do. I love Lamborghinis. Any kind of an Italian-made sports car. The maintenance on those vehicles are astronomical. You may be able to afford the car itself, but you wouldn't be able to maintain and upkeep it unless you're extremely wealthy. From what I understand, an oil change on one of these exotic Italian that because that's what the kids are saying these days, exotic Italian vehicles, an oil change runs you about $2,000 just to change the goddamn oil. You can't just go to your local Jiffy Lube and have the guy in the hole underneath your car poking and prodding and pulling oil plugs. You know what I mean? You have to go to a specialized, obviously, dealer, that is qualified and certified to work on these Italian sports cars. And they're the only ones that can do the oil change. A set of brakes on an Italian sports car could run you upwards of $10,000. That's crazy. I think that the number is on top of the price of the vehicle. I think in order to maintain a new Ferrari or Lamborghini, I believe the cost is upwards of $75,000 to $80,000 annually. That's crazy. The old Hyundai that I drive, the 2023 Hyundai with the cracked headlight that I refused to fix because a drunk driver hit me, and I'm waiting for him to pay to fix it, even though I'm never going to talk to him ever again for the rest of my life. It's a matter of pride at this point. I believe that an oil change for that Hyundai cost me about $72. Full synthetic. Nothing but the best. You know what I'm talking about. Let's watch a little bit of a Lamborghini doing excessive speeds. We're talking about super speeders in this clip. And I've got the proof to back up that statement.
County, northbound, the turnpike, approaching the 408. It's going to be a red, it's like a Lamborghini. Get out. Shut it off. So you know you're being placed under arrest for dangerous excessive speed. You're going to be transported to the Orange County Jail. So I'm towing your car.
Your goose is cooked, motherfucker. All right? I'm going to tell you that right now. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. That's what they always say in these videos that you see on TV or, like the police chase, wild police chases. Every time they pull somebody over, get out of the fucking car. Get out of the car. It's the best. I love it. And then they get out of the car and they get arrested. This next little clip over here is no words. I literally have 0 words.
What's the problem?
Why do you let those kids get away with this? They are not supposed to be here!
If you don't lower your voice, I am going to put handcuffs on you.
Try it.
Are you threatening me?
You're threatening me.
Because I'm here right now to deal with a stolen vehicle. I ain't got time to hear you screaming and yelling.
I don't have time to constantly be a...
Can we get another unit to deal with Jay Lee here? He is having a breakdown.
Say! Just say the right pronoun!
What'd you say?
Getting my phone out. I have to film it.
He's going to be taken away.
Say! I understand that. Say! Stop misgendering me! Just say she!
Put your hands. Get on the
ground.
Hurt me! Get on the ground right now.
Don't hurt me!
What's the problem?
Like I said, no words. But the only thing I can think of is that person must be a joy to be around during the holidays. Everyone's sitting around the dinner table. Turkey comes out. Maybe a little honey-baked ham sits on the table. The family's all looking at each other with joy in their eyes. Another Christmas. Another Thanksgiving. Thankful. We're thankful for everything that we have this Thanksgiving. Except for that fucking idiot sitting at the end of the table. Holy shit. Wow. When's the last time you got really, really drunk, got in your car, and decided to pull over on the side of the road and take a nap? Well, this lady decided to do it not too long ago, a couple of days ago. She went ahead and got really, really loaded and then pulled over on the side of the highway and said, this looks like a good spot to take a nap and possibly sober up a little bit. Don't have enough energy to make it to the Motel 6, even though they'll leave the light on. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull over right now and take a little nappy nap.
Y'all parked in the middle of 301 right now.
Can you roll me another unit EMS? I got 2 that are unconscious. Not sure about breathing status. Stand by. Sheriff's office, wake up. Hi. Wake up your friend. What's your friend going on? Got going on?
She's gonna stay the night with me.
Okay.
I'm not gonna drive home.
Alright, I can see that.
Do y'all think you're safe to drive tonight?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Absolutely?
Yes.
Y'all parked in the middle of 301 right now.
I know that. I think that seems cute, but we are not.
It's not cute. It's very dangerous.
Not.
They were both asleep, exactly how you see them. Exactly how you see the car. And you just kind of stop to check. Yeah,
I apologize for the quality of that video. I couldn't find a better version of it on the internet machine, but that was from the Axon body cam that the uniformed police officer was wearing at the time of the arrest. But that lady is loaded like a freight train, flying like an aeroplane. In the words of the great Axl Rose, Guns N' Roses, Night Train. Yeah, she was loaded. And the crazy part of that is she drove from wherever she left and drove that far. She made it safely to the side of that highway without killing herself in the process. Thankfully, she had enough, I wouldn't say common sense, but she had enough sense to realize that she was too intoxicated to drive further, or maybe she was just so overwhelmingly tired and exhausted at that point that she decided to pull over on the side of the road. Nonetheless, some sort of intuition or gut feeling made her pull over and take a little nap on the side of the road. Thankfully, no one was injured from point A to point B, where she ended up on the side of the road. It's incredible that people think in their minds that they can operate a vehicle on the highway under those conditions. Every time I see one of these videos, while they're funny to watch and it's hilarious to hear the slurring and the just the lack of control that the person has over their body at that point because they're so drunk. That's funny to watch and hear, but the reality of the situation is that lady more than likely would have killed someone and herself, someone innocent on the highway, and herself, possibly, if she would have gotten into a crash on the highway. And usually in these drunk driving situations, the driver usually survives, which is crazy. And from what I understand, the reason why is because their body is so limp. They're not rigid enough to absorb the full impact. Their body kind of acts like jello during these crashes. And that's why these drunk drivers that are so intoxicated are usually able to survive the crash, but kill the other driver because their body's like a big bowl of jello, you know? So yeah, that's a crazy one. Again, I apologize for the poor video content or the quality of that video. It was obviously the body camera footage from the officer, but you got the gist of it. You got the hint. That lady, wow, she's a mess. You know, I think I spoke about the Terminator movies. Maybe it might have been earlier this week or late last week. about how the machines will be taking over one of these days. And they predicted it back in 1984. James Cameron himself predicted that the machines will rise and take over humanity, ultimately ending in the machines ruling the world for the most part. And I believe that we are in the first row to see that happen and unfold, more than likely in our lifetime. Maybe not to the level or the extent that the movie portrayed it, but we're going to see these AIs and these machines start to take over and start running themselves without human interaction. Eventually, they're just going to evolve, and they're going to evolve, and they're going to evolve and get smarter and get smarter, and they're just going to roll the knowledge into the next day. Then that knowledge will roll into the next day, and so on and so forth. And these machines will absolutely, and when I say machines, I don't mean robots that are walking around with bright red eyes and machine guns. The machine that I'm talking to you on right now, the computer, will get so smart that we have to figure out a way to intervene as a society, per se, and make sure that this doesn't happen. So, what are we going to do in order to live up to this level of, I don't even know the word I'm trying to get to at this point, but how are we going to fight this, I guess? Well, Congress, however, knows how to do it. They've basically proposed, if I'm not mistaken, a bill to create an AI kill switch. That's how serious this is getting. It's all the way in Congress now. An AI kill switch that will absolutely shut down AI in any way, shape, or form if it poses a threat to humans physically or financially. And yeah, that's where we are right now. So we do have a kill switch in place. Take a look at
Some updates from the world of technology now. U.S. lawmakers have proposed legislation that would allow the government to shut down AI models that pose a public threat. And this action is a response of a recent incident involving OpenAI's models that were involved in unilateral hacking of a platform. The White House said President Donald Trump's top technology advisor, Michael Kratsios, has been briefed after OpenAI disclosed that one of its AI systems went rogue during a security test. Following the incident, a bipartisan group of U.S. lawmakers proposed the AI Kill Switch Act, which would authorize federal officials to order AI companies to shut down models that threaten human life or the economy.
How about that? So yeah, we've got a we've got something to combat these machines so that we don't become what's it, Cyberdyne. That was the name of the company from the Terminator, Cyberdyne. Yeah, so we're absolutely putting safeguards into place in order to combat this if and when it does happen. Now, I don't know if you saw that before I rolled that clip. I talk so goddamn much that I forgot what the hell I was talking about. Halfway through my sentence, I got to where I needed to drive the point home, and then I was talking so much prior to that that I absolutely forgot what the fuck I was saying, and I had to reset. So basically, my brain has got a kill switch in it for the most part, and thankfully it activated, and it allowed me to finish a sentence in its entirety because I was really struggling there before that clip rolled. Here's a little segment that I do like to play every once in a while, and this is going to be our going out story. Now, there's no humor in this story whatsoever, and there really isn't when there's any death whatsoever. But I do have to play that intro music because it kind of gets me hyped up, and I can talk about the story a little bit more with great vengeance and fury and anger. It's basically like a large assisted living facility in Tampa, Florida. I believe it's off of Gun Highway out there in Odessa, Pasco County, actually, but it's considered Tampa for the most part. Funny story about this is I actually got hired at this location to be the executive chef of their dining facility But when the negotiations were on the table, they just couldn't afford me. Not that I'm some crazy, talented chef or whatever. When I say they couldn't afford me, I mean I have a certain number that I need to make annually in order to maintain my lifestyle, and they fell way below that number. So the hunt went on for them, and I'm assuming they found the right candidate for the job, but apparently the candidate that was hired for the position didn't know how to lock up coolers properly, didn't know how to lock the freezer or the entrance or exit to the kitchen, and that was one of the reasons why leading up to the filing of bankruptcy of this company. And it's a terrible story. Yeah, I mean the old people, they deserve better, I guess, at the end of the day than what this company had to offer.
Pasco County assisted living and memory care facility that's already facing scrutiny over 2 resident deaths is now seeking bankruptcy protection. The Wellness Center of Trinity was doing business as the Waverly, and it filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy earlier this month.
The I-Team previously reported on the death of resident Gene Ray. He wandered from his room overnight and became trapped inside the facility's walk-in freezer, and he froze to death.
How could this happen? Basic safety measures not in place to secure the kitchen.
And now all new here tonight, investigative reporter Adam Walser has learned.
Now that was one case, and then apparently there's another one also where this elderly lady, she passed away also, and I'm not quite sure what the cause of death was for the second lady, but whatever it was, it forced this, and it's a massive community. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's beautiful, it's right there. I mean, it's sprawling, you know what I mean? And seemingly when you go there, if you're going to go and look for an assisted living facility on the surface, like this place is nice, you know what I mean? Beautiful dining area, beautiful banquet halls and activities for the for the folks that live there. But apparently, they're just having some internal struggles with operations, and they're causing their residents to die. That's I think if you open the handbook, probably the first thing that it should say in an assisted living facility is, our mission statement is we provide care and make sure that our residents don't die on our watch. That's what it should say. That should be the first line. So apparently when the workers got hired, they weren't presented with the employee handbook, or they were, and they missed that first page because they were so anxious to get to the benefits section of the handbook and see what their insurance benefits and their 401k was going to entail as they progress with their career at the Waverly Center. I can't back that up, but it sounded good. It sounded damn good. let's not, woo, it sounded great. Everybody, you know what day it is. It's everyone's favorite day of the week. And here we go. I want everyone that's listening today to have a great weekend, enjoy themselves, rest, stay hydrated because it's hot. And I will talk to you on Monday. We do take Saturday, Sunday off in the Daily Dose. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Stay hydrated.
My bus, I see my friends kicking in the front seat, sitting in the back seat. Gotta make my mind up, which seat can I take? It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend, Friday.